Welcome to the last day of the course. I can't believe we've made it this far. Let's have a 1990s slow motion montage, look back at all the places we've been and all the things that we've done. Welcome to the 100K course, 100K course, 100K. We're gonna call it the 100K course. That means that this channel has reached 100,000 subscribers, which is really, really incredible. Thank you so much for being here and trusting me with your time. All right, that's enough of that. I am wearing my donut shirt to commemorate this occasion of the course being finished because I wear my donut shirt on only the most special of occasions. I hope that you've learned a lot from this course, and I hope that it really has helped your photography. Primarily, I want your experience to be better, both your mental experience, your state on the day, as well as the couple's mental experience, the family's experience, and the guests' experience in general. And I feel that if you can create a good experience overall over all of those groups, that you will never fear going into a wedding day, that you will always have fun on a wedding day. It will never feel like work. It might feel like work for a couple minutes every wedding day, but for the most part, you're never gonna feel like you're actually going to work, which is for sure the best way to do things. So I'm on my way to my editor's house right now. This video will be about outsourcing eventually. And while this course is finished here, the course will continue for 5 days on Patreon. So I'm gonna be making 5 videos, a new video every single day like I've been doing here, but on Patreon because it's for kind of business and marketing. I like to keep those things locked down so not everyone in the world just begins using them and kind of oversaturates the market with them. Day number 1 is going to be a full pricing walkthrough, a full pricing guide. I already have my pricing up on Patreon and kind of a deconstruction of my specific pricing, but I have not yet done kind of a from the ground up how to build your pricing, how to maximize the amount of money you make as a wedding photographer, and also how to make the money that you actually need to be successful in business, because there are a lot of hidden costs as a wedding photographer. Day number 2 is going to be about how to grow your social media following to like 10,000 plus followers. All of the get night rich quick schemes, get followers overnight, don't really work anymore. And I'll give you a quick tip here. The video is gonna have a lot more tips, but if you spend the next week and you go to all of your favorite wedding vendors or even just restaurants or coffee shops, and you take one image and you write either a review or you write why you love going to that specific place, some good memories. Essentially what you're doing is you're creating kind of a Humans of New York style piece just specifically for that vendor or that restaurant or that dress shop or that cake vendor or whoever you're talking to. One, they're gonna love you for it, and they're going to obviously refer you because you've shown interest in them and you've created something of value for them, and you've given them promotion for their business to hopefully make them money, to make them a better life. And number 2, you're creating content for them, and you're doing it entirely for free. You're just creating stuff to put on your Instagram, and then also you can put it on their Instagram as well. You're gonna get a share of Facebook at least. You're probably gonna get it reposted on Instagram. They're gonna tag you in it, and they're going to just generally like you a lot better. This is going to push a lot of people in your direction. More social media tips to come. That's just one on Monday. Paid advertising is going to be the 3rd video, and if I could be considered the master of anything, I think it would be paid advertising on Facebook and Instagram stories. I have booked well over, I would say 250, maybe even 300 of the weddings that I photographed from paid advertising. So I'm gonna talk about what I used to do and what's actually working now, because what I used to do doesn't really work anymore, just targeting engaged female couples within like a local radius and targeting them with your website. That doesn't really work. Maybe I will give you a quick tip here. The quick tip would be to create custom videos for your audience and talk directly to them, whether it's your face on camera or if you're just not comfortable being in front of the camera and you want to build a slideshow where you have some footage of you working on an actual wedding day. You can also write a voiceover and you can record that, and that should be about all of the experience that your couples should expect by hiring you, and it should really, really attract the people that you want to work with, and it should very much repel the people that are not a correct fit for you. The 4th video is going to be about how to become a preferred vendor at a venue. I've worked very hard to form relationships with a lot of venues around town, and they now bring me the majority of my weddings along with paid advertising. I'm going to teach you what I know about becoming a preferred vendor. The 5th video is going to be about the daily videos every day on Patreon starting today. Actually, the pricing video is going to be out today, later today. Is going to be about why you don't need to create a luxury brand and what to create instead. And I know there's a lot of talk on the internet that to be a successful wedding photographer, to demand a lot of money, you have to create a luxury brand. And while that is true to some degree, there are kind of a lot of hacks, I guess, behind the scenes. And also, as a person, I think I would rather shoot more volume. I would rather go to more weddings than have this snobby looking luxury brand that maybe I book one wedding a month. I know there's certainly people out there that are doing it and doing it very well, and charging huge commissions for those single wedding days and getting to shoot like amazing events. My problem is that if you miss out on one of those pieces, that if you book like 15 weddings a year and you're making like 10 grand off each of them, if you miss one of those weddings and you just book 13 next year maybe instead of 15, you're losing out on $20,000 of your income. Whereas if you're shooting volume, I think it's a lot more sustainable. Maybe you charge a little bit less every weekend, but you get to shoot a lot more, which means you have more opportunities to create amazing images for your couples, and also for your portfolio. And I think that just also by being at venues a lot, you do create those relationships that benefit the future of your business. The sixth video is going to be about how to maximize referrals from the weddings that you do book. If you think that you're just going to book one wedding and you're going to book 10 weddings off of that wedding with no effort, no work on your part other than doing a good job on the wedding day, unfortunately you are wrong. So this is going to be my step-by-step process of how to maximize your referrals from each and every wedding so that you do create a sustainable business that's good over time. The last and seventh video is actually going to be about how to position yourself as an industry leader in your industry. I'm in a roundabout, that's kind of fun. And I will give you one tip here, just quickly. That one tip is what Lindsay and I are doing is we're actually creating a wedding magazine. So to position ourselves as an industry leader, we are essentially becoming the center point of the industry, and we have a writer involved, and the two of us, we're gonna make video content and photo content, do all kinds of things. And the magazine itself, I don't believe will be super profitable. It will definitely pay for itself in order to do it, but I think that the residual benefits of owning the best industry wedding magazine in our local area will do a lot more. And if you want to talk about how to get into the doors of wedding venues and how to talk to anyone that you want to in town and having unlimited access, that is one of the ways to do it. So I'm going to talk more ways that are a little easier than actually going out and creating a full wedding magazine in that video, the seventh video. So I'm going to close this off the course by saying, well, one, go join the Patreon if you want to continue the course for the next 7 days. I said 5 days at the beginning, but I just kept coming up with videos that I wanted to make. So it's 7 days now. But this course, I'm going to close up with the thing that I think that I was the most passionate about doing from the very, very beginning. And that is outsourcing my post-production. And I guess the problem with wedding photography is that once you do get successful and you start shooting a lot of weddings, you really do start to get behind and you start to spend most of your summer on your computer editing photos. From the very beginning, I had outsourcing built into my business model. I knew that I did not want to spend my summer editing. I actually chose wedding photography more as a lifestyle design than an actual career that I specifically wanted at the time. I knew that I wanted to do photography, I just didn't know what type of photography, and I felt that wedding photography kind of let me both do everything that I wanted to do as well as giving me the free time that I wanted, and money was kind of third. So the money is like obviously very good in wedding photography, but it wasn't the main consideration at the time. I mostly wanted freedom. I wanted a job that didn't chain me to a desk 9 to 5. Since then, I have run through pretty much every possible option for outsourcing my wedding photography, from actually having somebody that was in-house and came over to my house to edit, to mailing a hard drive across the province to another editor that would edit and mail that hard drive back, which was actually probably one of the better solutions I had, to using shoot.edit, which I was just uploading the images that I wanted them to edit, to using a company called Evolve, to using all kinds of different things. So the bonus with companies like Shoot.edit and Evolve is that they'll do a monthly plan. So for $299 or $199 a month, they will edit unlimited weddings for you, as long as they're weddings that you yourself are photographing, which is awesome when you get to a significant volume. The downside with it is that they don't really care about you, at least from what I've noticed. And the first few weddings, like your first 2 months, your trial period, they're going to deliver you like amazing weddings. Their best editors are going to be working on your stuff. And then as soon as like month 3 ticks over, you go to whoever like they just hired, and you start to get some like really wild, like across the board results back. And I work okay with this. So Lindsay's had a lot of struggles finding somebody that she works well with, and now she uses an actual human that we talk to and that she can bring a hard drive to, which is what I do for my videos. But for photos, they just couldn't find kind of the match, and it was a struggle. It's been a struggle with every company that she's worked with. My strategy with it is, so Lindsay pretty much wants a final file that she is ready to deliver to the clients. I want a straight kind of vanilla, boring edit. I want everything to be technically correct. I want the white balance to be correct. I want exposures, everything just to be good. Basically what they'll do, they're a color corrector. They won't like retouch every image individually, but they'll go through and they will move all the Lightroom sliders so you don't have to, basically. And what I want is just that straight vanilla, boring edit back. And the company that I use right now, they screw it up every time. It's either like a stop under or a stop and a half over, or everything's too blue or everything's too magenta. But they screw everything up consistently across the entire gallery, which I can work with. So what I do is I get this gallery back that's like technically incorrect, but consistently incorrect, and I make a preset in Lightroom that fixes that, and then I add that preset to it, and it just like batches across the board and brings whatever their mistakes are to the actual final image that I want to deliver. And then, as I talked about yesterday, I put it through Photoshop to run portraiture on it, which is like my favorite plugin of all time, that softens skin tones automatically, and also shrinks it by 98%, just the width, to make everybody look and feel a little bit skinnier, a little bit nicer. And that is my post-production process. So overall, I get home, I build a smart preview gallery. I send that, usually it's like 3 gigabytes, to the editor. They process everything, they send it back usually like the Thursday of that day, or Thursday of that week. I really do by Friday, and before I wipe the cards for the next wedding, I want to have those final images both on a hard drive in my house, processed and reviewed to make sure that everything is good, and also up on online somewhere on the PixieSet gallery, getting ready to go. And also before, I guess a step that I missed in those videos is that I also run everything through JPEG Mini, because PixieSet is the gallery system that I use to deliver, and they're based on the megabits that you put into their system. So if you're using JPEG Mini, you're kind of maximizing the amount of weddings you can get up there for the least amount of subscription per month. So my thoughts on editing are, if you want to have a sustainable life in wedding photography and be happy and have time with your family or time to travel like we do, that's another reason that we're able to travel essentially any week of the year, from like Sunday to Thursday. I can be somewhere reasonable. If I have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday wedding, maybe I'm gonna stay home that week, but if I just have like a Sunday wedding that week, I'm gonna go and do something, because it's summer and I have the time flexibility, which is what I modeled my entire business after. So if you are interested in traveling or just spending more time at the cottage, outsourcing is for sure the way to go. I think the best and easiest way is to find somebody locally that you can hire contract based. So you just drop them a hard drive. If you want to go the unlimited editing route and like just kind of roll the dice and fix everybody's work every week, which I do because it's $199 a month. So it's like such a cost-effective thing to do, especially when I'm shooting. I don't know how many weddings I shot this month. This is how many weddings I shot this month. And you were there for all of them, because you were at a video on the wedding dates that I was going to. We went to Florida, went to Vegas, all kinds of stuff. What a fun month. Thanks for joining me. Any other questions, feel free to leave them below. Obviously, join the Patreon if you want the next 7 days of videos, but they're all business related that I'm kind of locking down there, just because I don't want all those ideas kind of just oversaturating everyone's local area network. The other, I guess, positive thing about wedding photography is that you're not competing with your entire country. You're not competing, if you're from America, you're not competing with all Americans. You're literally competing with like maybe the closest million like residents of your city or of the cities that are near you. So using the same tactics that work for me up here near Toronto will probably work for you as well. Obviously tailor them to what fits your business and what fits what you think your couples and your local market will respond to, but for the most part, we can all kind of use the same stuff and be successful. So hopefully you found a lot of value in this course, and hopefully you'll find a lot of value in the next 7 days. I'm excited to kind of get more into the business and marketing aspects, because I feel like that is actually what I'm better at. I feel like I'm a pretty good photographer, but I feel like I'm very, very good at business and marketing, which I think is the more important part of actually being a wedding photographer, and also being able to create a great experience that couples actually enjoy. And then photography skill kind of comes after that, and you can learn all these things. So thank you so much for being here, for watching this course, for clicking the link every day. I am Taylor Jackson, and I will see you on another video on Patreon later today. Pricing, there's a link in the description, probably, or maybe not. Also on this course, I got my hair cut, which is kind of nice. When we began the course, my hair was larger. Around my birthday, my hair was very large. Now, it's a little bit smaller.